WSGZ Radio.
Hi, this is Judy Morgan. I'm supposed to call in at 2 o'clock.
Thank you. How you doing, Dr. Judy Morgan?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Enjoying today?
I am. We're driving from Michigan to Pennsylvania today.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Thank you for taking out the time. It's most appreciated for you taking out the time to call in.
No problem.
WSGZ.
So I see here that you got a few books you want to talk about?
Yes, I have 2 books that are out that I'd love to talk about.
Okay, let's do that. Definitely. We on live on the air with Dr. Judy Morgan. Check her out at www.drjudymorgan.com for real. And the first book that we see here that we want to talk about is From Needles to Natural.
WSGZ.
Yes, that's right. It's about my journey from traditional medicine to holistic for pets. And I'm certified in acupuncture, chiropractic, herbal and food therapy from a Chinese medicine standpoint.
That's pretty cool. About acupuncture, that's very interesting. When you talk about acupuncture, is this a healthy way for the pets?
Yeah, we can treat all kinds of things with acupuncture. I use it a lot for cancer patients, particularly those who the owners choose to put them through chemotherapy. It helps decrease the side effects, decrease the nausea. But I also use it a lot for pets that are suffering from arthritis, or we can even use it for high blood pressure, diabetes, pretty much any disease problem that's having, we can help them out with acupuncture.
That's incredible. How did you start as a vet?
WSGZ.
Well, I started out when I was a teenager. I had horses, and one of my horses needed to have surgery, and the veterinarian actually let me assist with the surgery that was done at the barn. And I thought it was really, really, really cool. So from the time I was about 12 years old, I just had my sight set on being a veterinarian. And so when I finally graduated from veterinary school, I practiced traditional medicine for about 10 years. And then I took a chiropractic course sort of accidentally. And from there, I grew into the alternative stuff.
Is there anything that you dislike about your profession, Dr. Morgan?
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely stressful days. Sometimes finances get in the way of being able to treat animals, and I get that, particularly when the economy kind of took a dive. It was really hard for families to make decisions. So that can be frustrating, but overall, it's a really rewarding profession.
All right, so from needles to nature, I'm seeing here that food therapy. You want to talk about what type of foods can we cook for our pets? Where I'm at, where I grew up at, there's a lot of pit bulls. Do you like pit bulls?
WSGZ.
Sure, they can be really, really sweet. We have a lot of families that own them, and they're really wonderful dogs. They kind of get a bad rap, actually.
Yeah, that's why I thought I asked the question, because they fun-loving animals if they're not around that surrounding of negativity, and it's pretty it's pretty unique how they get a bad rap, but actually the food, what can we give to our pets that will be healthy, and what can we cook for them?
Okay, so I actually wrote an entire cookbook called What's for Dinner, Dexter, and we, in the cookbook, we talk about using food for healing. So I can pretty much take any disease that an animal has, whether it be, again, diabetes, bladder infection, cancer, and we can help make the animals feel better and decrease their symptoms, and sometimes get away without using medication. So sometimes we don't need antibiotics to treat infections. I will tailor the diet for each individual animal. I do have a lot of just kind of general recipes for people that want to cook for their pets. What people don't realize is that a lot of the pet food, actually most of the pet food that's commercially available on the market, is filled with all kinds of things that are toxic and even dangerous to our pets. And even though there are regulations written by the FDA, they're not enforced. So it is actually perfectly acceptable for all the diseased and decayed carcasses of animals that are not allowed in the food chain to be used in the pet food chain. And the really disgusting thing is that those carcasses do not even have to be refrigerated. So you'll see trucks rolling down the highway with all these dead bodies on them that are just oozing in 19 degrees, and they're actually just pet food. So it's really disgusting. So that's one of the reasons why I cook for my pets, because I want to know what the ingredients are that are going into the food, and I want to make sure that they're good, wholesome ingredients.
Okay, that sounds great. And another question, I know when I was growing up, and people say when you give dogs or cats, rice, red meat, and especially dogs, they develop worms. So you're saying we found a new way how to feed our animals, table food that could be healthy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, kind of the rule of thumb, if it's healthy for you, it's healthy for them. So if you're eating processed junk food yourself, that's not very healthy for you, and it's certainly not going to be healthy for them. There are a few things that you can't share with your pet that sometimes don't make sense to us, but pets just don't process them very well, and they can be dangerous. So those include grapes, raisins, macadamia nuts, and onions. So those should never be fed to your pets. But pretty much everything else that we eat is, certainly chocolate, caffeine, those sorts of things. Everything else is pretty good for them. One of the big things that some people are not aware of is that artificial sweeteners like xylitol that's found in a lot of the diet gums and sugar-free gums and that sort of thing, very, very toxic to pets. It'll put them in the liver and kidney failure, so you definitely want to avoid those as well.
Okay, Dr. Judy Morgan. I see here that Chinese medicine theory. You want to elaborate a little bit about that?
Sure. So from, Chinese medicine, the one thing that everybody is familiar with is the theory of yin and yang, although most people call it yin and yang, but it's yin and yang. And so yin is the female side, which is cooler and darker, and the yang side is the male side, which is hotter and drier. So every food that we put into our body is going to either contribute more to yin or more to yang. So if we have a dog who's hot and panting all the time and they're dry and their coat is dry and brittle, then we want to feed them things that are on the yin side of the list, which is going to add moisture and cool the dog naturally. So those are the dogs that are panting, they're drinking all the time. Dogs with Cushing's disease, diabetes disease, definitely suffer from those diseases, those problems, and would do really well with those moisturizing foods. For dogs that are really sluggish, have no energy, they're cold all the time, those are the dogs that want to feed the warming foods that are going to energize them and fix them up. So those are two of the properties of food that we talk about in the book and that we use for healing. But then there's other properties. There's tea tonics. Tea, from a Chinese medicine standpoint, is energy. So that's going to add energy to the body. So the older dogs that are getting weak in the back end, they're getting real shaky. If we add foods that are listed under the tea tonic category, that's going to help those dogs have more energy. And there are foods that we can find very easily. Pumpkin is a really good tea tonic. It's a yang tonic. It's also a blood tonic, so it helps build rich blood. Pumpkin is used very often for digestive problems for animals. So every bit of food that we take in is going to affect us in a lot of different ways that we don't normally think about.
Absolutely, absolutely. What is the most challenging about what you do?
The most what?
What is the most challenging about what you do?
Oh, the most challenging. Some of these dogs, by the time they get to me, or cats, they've got some really complicated things going on. So sometimes it, it takes a little bit of searching to try to figure out what the main problem is and what we really have to deal with. And, really for me, the biggest challenge right now is getting the word out. I do a lot of radio interviews. I do TV spots. I write a lot of articles, and I'm trying to really get people to understand that there's a better way to deal with their animals. And I'm really against the over-vaccination of pets. So it's really challenging when I see my veterinary colleagues recommending that animals get vaccinations every single year. But a lot of those vaccines that we've been promoting on an annual basis actually will last a lifetime as a pet. And by over-vaccinating, we cause other immune system problems and cancers and bigger problems for the animals. So my biggest challenge lately has been just getting the word out. So that's why I'm talking to you.
Yes, we're going to get the word out. We're definitely going to put you on our website in a little section, our general section. We might rename it to pets, man. This is very interesting because, there's a lot of pet lovers out there, and it's, we have to treat them like family as humans too, So,
and that's what I'm finding, that more and more people treat them as family members, particularly that, all of us empty nesters, our kids are gone, and now the dogs are the kids.
That is correct. Where can we find your books at? Both of the books, from Needles to Nature and What's for Dinner, Dexter.
Okay, so both books are available on my website, www.drjudymorgan.com, and they're also available on Amazon. The From Needles to Natural Learning Holistic Pet Healing is also available on Kindle and Barnes & Noble for the Nook.
Okay, the other books of interest are Proactive Puppy Care. Did you publish that one too?
No, so the What's for Dinner Dexter, I have a co-author, Tanya Wilhelm, and she is a dog trainer in Ohio. And Dexter is her dog. And Tanya and I met up a couple of years ago. She took some of my courses. I have a whole series of YouTube videos about Chinese medicine theory and cooking and food for your pets. And Tanya was a participant in all of those. And from there, she started cooking for Dexter. And she said, I'm going to put out a cookbook. So I said, well, let's do that together. And I'll write the part on the theory and how we determine which foods to use. And then she also wrote the Proactive Puppy Care and also a book on separation anxiety.
Oh, that's cool, man. Cute dog, by the way. I'm loving the cover, the book cover. It's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Definitely. My last question. I know you're busy. What advice you have for a younger generation that want to get into this career?
Okay, so veterinary schools are growing. When I went to school, there were about 13 applicants for every available seat, and that's really changed a lot. It's about 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 applicants will now get in, and there are actually new veterinary colleges opening throughout the country, and the class sizes are getting bigger. So, I would say if that's your dream, follow your dream. Go volunteer at the local shelter or at the local veterinary clinic, get some experience, see if it's something that you really want to do, because we're definitely in need of good practitioners. And for the alternative medicine, they actually are now starting to teach a little bit of that in the veterinary schools, and I think that's really, really neat.
Okay, you heard it. We're live on the air with Dr. Judy Morgan. Definitely go check out her books on her website, www.drjudymorgan.com. Doc, thank you for your time. And I have one more question. Would you like to come back and do another interview on June 15th?
Sure.
WSGZ